Well, good morning, folks. I'm jumping on this morning to do a little bit of a stitch with me. Haven't done one for a while. So I think since I was just live the other day, I'm probably going to do this one mostly to music. However, I will jump in with some words of wisdom or directions or whatever occasionally. So look forward to that. Um, what I'm doing and thought I would record today is Royal Stitcher has come up with her method called Royal Rose. So I'm still experimenting with that. So I thought today I would do a little bit of that stitching to see, again, to see how it goes. I hope to finish the column that you see that is not finished and start on the next column to hopefully start to make an assessment of, by starting and ending threads over here in that what would be column number 3, number 1 being the one we're working on, number 2 being the blank one, and number 3 being the one where you see the little tails hanging out. What I will do then is when I do column number 2, I will then park over in the next empty column to start and end threads and cut these ends that you see. I will cut them off. So your working column, no matter where you are, always becomes column number 1. The next column is the blank column, and the next column is your third column where you would start and end your threads. So that's all a little bit new to me to stitch that way, but hey, you know what? It's worth a try. So we're going to give it a shot today. And as you saw in the opening, I'm looking at how many stitches can we stitch in this hour. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm going to start my count now, and let's see how many you guys get. And if you want to put them in the comments when the hour is up, that would be wonderful. It's not a competition. It's just a curious way to see just how many stitches do we do in an hour's time. Everybody is their own, so stitch at your own speed. We're not racing each other. There's no good amount, there's no bad amount. It's just your amount and for your own information. So let's get started. I'm going to turn on some music and we're going to have a go at this. Okay, here we go. The count starts now. Oops, wrong button. Oops, and pardon me for the shaking. I'm on a boom arm here, and it tends to shake a little bit once in a while, so my apologies for that, and I will try and keep it down to a dull roar. Just need to get myself in here a little closer so that I don't keep thumping the legs of the stand that my camera's on. Okay, so here we go. So as you see, I'm starting my thread over here. I'm coming up in my first stitch. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail. And when I come up, I am going to make sure that I am stitching over that tail. Well, as you see, my little tail here slipped to the back. I guess I didn't leave it quite long enough, so let it a little longer so that it doesn't slide underneath. At this point, I'm sure it will get caught up in other stitches, so I'm not going to get real crazy about it. And as you can tell, I'm still working on forcing myself to stitch two-handed. Done on thread. Sorry, I forgot to add the screen with the chart on it. Oh, just now thought about that, so I will do that next time. On this column, I'm down to just two colors until or this color, black and 3371, until I get down here to the bottom of the last block that I'm doing. Basically, what you do is, in essence, you're working cross country within the column. And then when you get to, and what Allison is doing is 2 blocks at a time. Now I'm going a little bit further than that. Just, oh heck, that was wrong. No. Just because I want to make things even across here, because this is all up here, it's like kind of stitched and not stitched and whatever, so I wanted to bring everything down to an even line across and then work my 2 blocks down from there. So that's why I have a bit more to fill in than what her technique is normally calling for. But that's okay. I'm going to chart up here a little bit. And right here is, or stitching this way is a lot of the reason I like these ballpoint needles. For the simple reason that they don't split your working thread, nor do they split your fabric thread. So actually, stitching cross country with a ballpoint needle, I feel like my stitches are looking every bit as nice as they would if I was stitching row by row with a regular tapestry needle. So now I'm going to bring it, I brought it over to column number 3 to end this color. I'm going to leave a bit longer the tail this time. And smart these stitches off before we forget to do that and end up confused. What would we do without Pattern Keeper, folks? I would, personally, I would be at a loss. 3371. Oh, sorry guys. What did I bump here? Sometimes, if you guys would only see how I have things rigged here to be able to stitch. It's a little, there we go. It's a little interesting. Hold on a second. Yes, I do. I thought I did. Okay, so starting a thread, do the same thing. Over here in column 3, go down. Then I got these few stitches up here of 3371. So we're going to leave a bit of a longer so that we don't accidentally pull it through again. Sometimes what happens is my hand or the needle doesn't catch it, or catches it and pulls it out again. Just in case this music is too loud, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. There we go. So it's hopefully more in the background. And I do like my little bobbin idea. However, what I don't like about that is my working thread getting caught on it all the time. That's one of the big reasons, and I guess I wouldn't have to do that, but I don't like the tangled or the loose threads hanging all over the place. That makes me a little goofy. And Yeah, and then my thread gets caught on these. I don't like those bigger ones. So that's why I came up with sewing machine bobbins. Now I think this whole area gets filled in with this 3371. So yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with parking. But for now, we're going to be fair about this and give this a reasonable try to see if well, the reason I wanted to do Stitch with Me for an hour, and let's count our stitches, is because I am curious if this method is faster than some other methods that we've stitched. A lot of people have said that they think they stitch faster. They get more stitches done in the time that they allot themselves to stitch. So this is a means of checking that out and saying, is that really, for me, is that really the case? And I really get more done stitching this way. And I am sorry that this jiggles a little bit. I don't know quite yet how to keep this arm from jiggling. So hopefully I'm not making you seasick. I'm getting better at maintaining my stitching two-handed, as opposed to wanting to flip back to using just, you hear this, I'm scooching my chair a little closer to say maybe that will help stop the jiggles. I can lean it against me a little bit. So we'll try that, see how that works. And I was trying a little bit of stitching in hand and using the sewing method to see if that would help or would keep my arm from hurting if I stitch a longer period of time. And I will say, yes, it does, except I find it a bit difficult to do that with a heaven and earth design. And I know there are people that do. If that would be the case, I don't think working for this method would be the option, at least for me. I think it would have to be cross country, finish your thread, and end it off. And then I also have to wonder how it affects the stitches. You know, do stitches tend to pull up from doing a sewing method on these smaller count? Well, this 20 count isn't really small, but it just makes me wonder what it does to the integrity of your stitch. Do they stay as nice or as neat and uniform? And like I said, I really do think the ballpoint needle makes all the difference in the world. So if one would do the sewing method on Heaven and Earth, stitch cross country so they don't have all the dangly threads, and use a ballpoint needle, how doable is that? So see, that's just another thing that I think I might have to experiment with. Well, so far I don't think I've ever, let's see, I've completed my Stitcher's Retreat. I've completed 2 Christmas stockings, one for each grandchild. And this, and I don't think I've used the same method throughout a whole piece yet. Every one of them has multiple techniques on it. For whatever reason. It was sometimes, oh, that's different. Let's try and stitch that way. Oh, I'm frustrated with park threads, so let's stitch cross country. Oh, but everybody else is parking. Maybe I can like it again. So let's try that. Let's go back to that. See if I like it any better this time. Oh, but the diagonal is really good. And for the most part, it does help to prevent lines, but not always, because I did get some in my Stitcher's Retreat. So, do I want to stitch diagonal again? Oh, that's a lot of fuss to convert everything back again. I gotta mark off here to see where I'm at. These are the crazy things that go through my head when I'm stitching. All the crazy stuff. And then I come up with crazy ideas. Like, oh, maybe we need to do this. Oh, maybe we need to make a video about this. So see, stitching time is my planning time. Like, oh, let's do a video about that. Oh, but I better get this one done. Look up all those ways that I told people how to start and end threads, which will be coming very shortly. Well, so far I had a straight line here before I start, or I had a straight line working, and I don't see a column line. So, okay, one column butting against the other one time is not a true assessment make of whether we will get column lines or not. So almost done with this column. Up here I didn't do these stitches because they're all the same color as a lot of stitches over here. So I kind of left that. I think I don't have a problem with doing that because it doesn't make sense to me to stick strictly to 10 stitches wide when over here you have an isolated 1 stitch or an isolated 2 stitches. That seems like a time waster to me, to have to start and end a thread just for 1 or 2 stitches when you have a whole bunch of them over here. So I will not stick 100% to a 10 wide column. I will be a bit of a rebel. Well, since this is called Royal Rose, I wonder if we could call that a Royal Rebel. See, I told you weird things go through my head when I sit here and stitch. And I'm talking to you guys, but my husband will go, "Who the world are you talking to?" This is... No, there's some down here yet. Thought I had them all. This is Mr. Snowman's scarf that we're working on. I hope my sound isn't picking up my air conditioner. Hopefully you don't hear that. It's gonna be a hot and humid day today, I believe. We had storms go through last night. Still looks like it's going to rain today. It's not very sunny. Well, the sun's not out at all. More yet? Yeah. This is all the thread we have left. So it's maybe about 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is mark these stitches off that I just did. Okay. I have one right next that I can park at, but it is the only stitch in the next block down. and I have quite a few in the next column, but nothing too close to where I'm at. So what I'm going to do is stitch this one stitch, and I'm going to end this thread, and I'm going to end this thread just by doing that same thing of putting it over here. And see, that's all I have left. So I'm just going to trim that so that I'm sure that oh, pardon my hand, I'm sure that's a tail to be clipped as opposed to a part tail. Play that down here. This is making me a little crazy kind of here. These will go around the bobbin after this is done. So let's see. The color is in the next column. So we're going to leave that for the next column. Now these are going to be one and done stitches. So well, not all of them are once and done, so we shall see here. Oops. I'm back. I've won. Now, what I totally haven't figured out with this system yet is putting thread that's left over back on. I've been threading it back underneath the tag, and that's all well and good, except then it kind of defeats why I like the system, because now now it gives me these little threads kind of hanging all over the place, and I really kind of sort of don't like that. So I have to come up with a way to contain those loose hanging ends of leftover pieces of floss. So if anybody has any ideas, feel free to leave a comment. Let's see. There we go. That was it for that color. So now I have it. Oh, hey, where did we go? What the heck? Oh, that was odd. I hope you guys could still see me. That was quite odd that my screensaver came on. What the heck? I wonder. That quite never happened before when I was recording. So hopefully you won't see this on the screen. So let me go here. Yeah, I know. Let's try that. That was very weird. I never had that happen when I was in the middle of recording before. So sorry. Sorry if I blanked out on you. I don't think it would have, but I think it, oh shoot. I think it might have just done it for me, but not for you. Huh. Gets a little scary. Because I do look up to make sure that I'm staying within the camera range so that I'm not off the scene. Because that can be a problem. Oh, you know what? I just had an idea. I wonder if that would... I wonder if... Ooh, I wonder, to keep those ends... I have to think this through a little more. I just had this thought that... With my tablet here, there we go. That if about partway down on these floss pages, let's think about that. Okay, here, I'm going to show you this. See how when you put, let me come out a little bit. Okay, when you put a thread back, well, that one I punched through up there, but I put this under the tag again. So now this is hanging loosely. Okay, I'm messing up my stitch count in an hour. Distractions. See how this is hanging loosely, and then that gets annoying. It would be worth messing up a page if it doesn't work. If I would put maybe down in here a piece, attach a piece of batting, quilt batting, so that when I have to put, or maybe put it up here a little bit further, so that when I have to put back a strand of floss, a leftover, that I could run it through the batting first and then around the tag. So have the one strand come through the batting, go up under the tag, come back and through the batting again, and at least that would keep it from flopping all over the place. Leave me a comment and tell me what you think about it. That just had a little light bulb moment that might just work. Now the question would become how to attach the batting to the page, but you wouldn't have to, well, first of all, I'd have to go above the hole that the notebook ring goes through. So it would have to be up here a little bit, but that would be okay. At least it would contain it and keep it from flopping. So you could experiment with some double-sided tape first. to just hold it, secure it at each end. Oh, I have to try this and see what happens that way. If it works, then you could use some double-sided tape across the whole piece of batting and secure it across the whole page. Let me know what you think about it. So I'm messing up the hour here, not stitching. Oh, but things, see how things just pop in my head. And sometimes when I have those moments, I just have to follow it through, or till the next time I will, what did I do to my camera here? Oh, I know what I did. There we go. Or if I don't think more about it now, I'll forget later, like, what was I thinking was a good idea? Oh, I can't quite remember. So I'm going to try that, and I will let you know the next time I record how that's working, because I really, 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 really do like these pages. I like the fact that the floss is all contained, and you can just flip through to get the color that you want. I really do like that. Whoops. So it's just what to do with those ends that was a smidge annoying. I'm going to try that. I am going to try that. Update on the stand. I think we're not going to do a whole hour because now I've already messed up my stitch count. But what I did do is about, I had a couple on here before I started. I did just about 80 stitches since I started the video. I had done a few before I started, so I'm just about 80, and we've been stitching for 45 minutes. So that should at least give you an idea. But update on the stand. I had no new updates this morning in my email or my text messages. So what it says is it's in New York, but it is in transit. So that means to me that it's moving. So hopefully it will come to Harrisburg relatively quickly, and maybe, what's today, Thursday? I doubt that it will come Friday or Saturday, tomorrow or Saturday. Maybe it will be here next week. So I'll keep you posted. So with that, dear people, I think I am going to call this video finished. I hope this gave you a little bit of an idea of what this Royal Rose is all about and how you stitch those. It's really just a matter of starting and ending your threads over here in column 3, working in column 1, doing cross country within this column. After you move over to this column, then you end your threads in the new column 3. When this column is finished, you cut the threads off in column 2, and now that will be the new column 1. You'll skip this one, park your threads to cut off over there. Each column you just work in cross country. So it's really pretty simple, and due to the fact that in that 45 minutes I did about 80 stitches. Not quite, but just about. It may be a little bit faster. So let me know what you guys came up with. And with that, my friends, I will see you next time. And remember, there are no rules in cross stitch. The only rules are the ones you make for yourself. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.